That's huge.
Oh, yeah.
What is that, like a 17-incher?
Look at this one.
17.
That's the biggest one I've seen in the Midwest.
Today, the team begins their journey in Logan, Utah, known for its rugged mountains and dense forests. They visit Utah State University's archives, where they delve into a treasure trove of local Bigfoot lore. Here, Dr. Lynne McNeill, a respected folklorist, guides them through the complex ways folklore preserves community experiences and natural history. She highlights how these stories, while often dismissed as myth, can reveal patterns of consistent sightings, behaviors, and locations. Dr. McNeill presents reports dating back over 4 decades, each reflecting the evolving perceptions of Bigfoot in the region. Some accounts describe shadowy figures in the forest, strange vocalizations, or giant footprints, all contributing to Logan's reputation as a hotspot for Sasquatch activity. These stories not only fascinate the team, but also set the stage for understanding how local folklore shapes public attitudes toward the mysterious creature. Cultural significance of Bigfoot in Indigenous folklore. Indigenous communities across North America have passed down stories of a creature resembling Bigfoot for generations. For example, tribes like the Salish and the Lummi from the Pacific Northwest have legends about a giant hairy being often called Sasquatch or Tsemequis.
That when threatened or curious, they'll throw rocks. And if they're really threatened, they'll shake foliage or they'll push over dead foliage. And it's documented with chimpanzees, mountain gorillas, orangutans, monkeys, that they do these primate characteristics and acts when they feel threatened.
These creatures are typically described as protectors of the forest, warning people against overhunting or disrupting the balance of nature. Some indigenous peoples believe that Bigfoot is more than just an animal. It is a spiritual entity capable of moving between worlds or dimensions. These stories are not just entertainment. They carry important lessons about respecting the natural world. Indigenous folklore often includes precise details about the creature's habits, such as its preference for dense forests and its ability to mimic animal calls. This historical knowledge aligns closely with modern accounts of Bigfoot sightings, suggesting these stories might be based on real experiences passed down over centuries. The power of local stories. As the team combs through the archived accounts, a vivid picture of the region's Bigfoot history emerges. These stories range from chilling accounts of blood-curdling screams echoing through narrow canyons to mysterious, oversized footprints discovered in remote areas. One standout tale from 1977 details a startling encounter in Providence Canyon. In this incident, motorists claimed their vehicle was approached and seemingly attacked by a massive ape-like figure. Such stories give the team valuable insights into possible Bigfoot behavior.
Couple around a campfire, Cherry Creek Road. Screams coming out of the canyon terrified them. Wow. 1984.
Here's another one with a strong odor that made somebody nauseated.
From these accounts, the team identifies recurring patterns. Reports of a pungent, musky odor often accompany sightings, while distinct vocalizations, ranging from whoops to guttural growls, suggest communication or territorial behavior. In some cases, witnesses noted broken tree limbs or stacked rocks, potential signs of territorial marking. With this information, the team refines their strategy, focusing on areas with a history of recurring activity, hoping to uncover fresh evidence that might confirm these long-standing claims.
Sasquatch is real. It doesn't take some PhD to authenticate it to me. I've seen them. Thousands of people have seen them. People have this misperception that folklore means not real, but there was folklore about giant pandas. The natives all knew about them.
The role of cryptozoology in modern science. Cryptozoology is the study of creatures like Bigfoot, often considered part of folklore or legend, to determine whether they could be real. While some scientists dismiss cryptozoology as unscientific, others argue it plays an important role in exploring the unknown. Cryptozoologists use a mix of traditional storytelling, eyewitness accounts, and modern technology to investigate claims of these mysterious beings. Bigfoot is one of the most famous cryptids, a term for hidden or unknown animals, in the world. Over the years, researchers have uncovered strange footprints, unusual hair samples, and vocalizations they cannot explain. While these findings are not definitive proof, they keep the search alive and inspire new techniques for investigation. History shows that some mythical creatures have been proven real. For example, the coelacanth, a fish thought to have been extinct for millions of years, was rediscovered alive in 1938. Cryptozoologists hope Bigfoot might one day follow the same path from legend to reality. Meeting the eyewitness, Bryce's encounter. The team shifts gears by meeting Bryce, a seasoned hunter whose encounter adds credibility to the search. Bryce recalls the moment vividly. While navigating through dense forest, he was startled by the sound of snapping branches. Looking toward the noise, he saw a massive figure moving gracefully through the ravine. What struck him was the creature's defined musculature, visible even through its hair, a detail he insists could not belong to any known animal or a human in a costume. Bryce's experience as a hunter adds weight to his account, as he is well acquainted with local wildlife and their behaviors.
About when it disappeared behind that ridge, I grabbed my rifle and I was gone.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
When I first saw my first Bigfoot, I was looking for it. That was overwhelming. So I can just imagine being a kid, not even really knowing about Bigfoot, also just see this giant, what he thinks is probably a monster, running faster than he's ever seen.
Their interest piqued, the team visits the site of his encounter to recreate the event. They carefully examine the surrounding terrain, noting the thick vegetation and steep slopes, which would make the creature's swift movement even more impressive. They also find signs of disturbance in the area, such as displaced vegetation and potential paths that could serve as escape routes. This on-the-ground investigation, paired with Bryce's detailed testimony, reinforces their belief that something extraordinary may be lurking in the region. Psychological aspects of Bigfoot sightings. One reason why so many people report Bigfoot sightings could be explained by human psychology. Our brains are wired to recognize patterns even when none exist. This phenomenon is known as pareidolia. For instance, people might see shadows in the forest or hear animal sounds and interpret them as signs of Bigfoot. Additionally, the power of suggestion plays a big role. If someone hears stories about Bigfoot in a specific area, they are more likely to connect unrelated events, like rustling leaves or distant calls, to the creature. Mass hysteria can also amplify these sightings. When a story about Bigfoot gains attention, more people start reporting encounters, even if they didn't actually see anything unusual. This happens because our memories can be influenced by others' experiences, making us believe we saw or heard something that never occurred. These psychological factors don't mean all Bigfoot sightings are imaginary. However, they do remind us how perception and belief can shape what people claim to experience, especially in isolated and eerie environments like dense forests.
It was just about a foot taller than you were.
So that put it about 7.5 range. Was it standing upright when you saw it?
It was running with just a little bit of a hunt.
The first night investigation. With Bryce's account fresh in their minds and insights from the archives guiding their approach, the team sets off on their first night of investigation in the remote and rugged Providence Canyon. The area's thick forest canopy and steep ravines create an eerie, isolated atmosphere, ideal for an encounter with the elusive Bigfoot. Equipped with thermal imaging cameras, sound recording devices, and their determination, the team sets out to uncover evidence in the dark wilderness. The team employs tried-and-true Bigfoot research techniques. They perform wood knocks, loud strikes against trees intended to provoke a response, and emit long guttural calls that mimic reported Bigfoot vocalizations. These sounds echo through the canyon, breaking the otherwise quiet night. Their efforts yield some curious results: faint wood knocks and distant, indistinct vocalizations. The team's attempts to trace the source lead them deeper into the canyon's dense terrain, heightening both anticipation and caution. While no definitive proof is gathered, the activity aligns with patterns described in folklore and eyewitness accounts. The team logs these moments, considering them valuable leads for refining their strategy in the nights to come. Exploring Cherry Creek Road. Next, the team ventures to Cherry Creek Road, a known hotspot for Bigfoot activity, according to local reports. Witnesses in the area have described unsettling screams piercing through the night and an overpowering, musky odor that often accompanies sightings. These consistent accounts make the remote, wooded stretch a prime location for further investigation. To maximize their chances, the team sets up an array of surveillance equipment, including motion-activated cameras and high-sensitivity audio recorders. They conduct call-and-response experiments, mimicking Bigfoot vocalizations to provoke a reaction, and strategically place bait to attract potential attention. These efforts are paired with overnight audio monitoring, ensuring no activity goes unnoticed.
You're not gonna wear a gorilla suit on a 114-degree day no matter what.
We don't know it's a suit. It can be something big and dark clothing, but what it is that a human can match that speed. It's not an inhuman height.
The dense forest and Cherry Creek's natural acoustics amplify the eeriness of the setting, keeping the team on edge. Although they don't uncover any definitive evidence, the location's unsettling atmosphere and its history of reports leave the team hopeful that something extraordinary could still emerge with persistence. Ecological impacts and habitat analysis. For a creature like Bigfoot to survive, it would need a suitable habitat and access to resources. Dense forests like those in Logan, Utah or Cherry Creek Road provide the perfect environment for such an elusive species. These areas are rich in natural cover, making it easier for a creature to stay hidden. They also offer abundant food sources, such as small animals, plants, and berries, which align with Bigfoot's presumed omnivorous diet. Experts suggest that Bigfoot would require a territory with minimal human activity to avoid detection. Geographic isolation, such as the rugged mountains and steep ravines of Providence Canyon, could serve as ideal hiding places. The presence of water sources, such as streams or reservoirs, is another key factor in sustaining life, as observed in locations like Vermont, where sightings have clustered around forested areas with nearby lakes. Studying these environments can help researchers identify potential Bigfoot hotspots. Habitat analysis also explains why sightings are more common in regions like the Pacific Northwest or the Rocky Mountains, which share similar ecological conditions. If Bigfoot does exist, understanding its habitat is crucial to increasing the chances of finding conclusive evidence.
Did you ever, get an idea of how big it was? Could you see any of it?
And this thing here stood up 10 feet tall. You could see it moving. I mean, it's just like this. It's running after me, like it, making big leaps, and it was gaining on me.
Comparison with similar legends worldwide. But along with the habitat, the legend of Bigfoot is not unique to North America. Around the world, many cultures have stories of similar creatures, often described as large, hairy, and elusive. In the Himalayan region, people speak of the Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman, which is said to inhabit snowy mountain ranges. In Australia, the Yowie is a creature with strikingly similar traits to Bigfoot, described as a towering, ape-like being that lives in remote forests. Even in Africa, tales of the Kikomba, or the Ngoloko, describe large humanoid creatures that roam the jungles. These global cryptids often share common features, such as their reclusiveness, connection to the wilderness, and mysterious vocalizations. While cultural contexts and names differ, these stories reflect a shared human fascination with the unknown. Some researchers believe that these legends might stem from encounters with real animals, such as undiscovered primates or ancient species of humans that survived in remote areas. Comparing Bigfoot with its global counterparts shows how deeply ingrained such myths are in human culture and how they might be connected by shared environmental and psychological factors. Final investigation and analysis. The grand finale of the investigation takes the team back to Providence Canyon and its surrounding areas. Carefully chosen based on triangulated patterns from archival records, eyewitness accounts, and activity hotspots. This strategic approach emphasizes precision, as they aim to uncover definitive proof of Sasquatch activity. To maximize their efforts, the team splits into smaller groups, each tasked with covering a specific section of the wild terrain. Equipped with night vision goggles and thermal imaging cameras, the team scans the darkness for signs of movement or heat signatures.
Good.
The quiet intensity of the search heightens as they navigate dense undergrowth and steep ravines. Unexplained heat, anomalies, and subtle movements on the thermal cameras keep the team on high alert, though they cannot conclusively identify their source. While the elusive creature remains unseen, the team compiles their findings, archival folklore, credible eyewitness accounts, and a collection of subtle but consistent environmental cues. Together, these elements suggest that Providence Canyon and its environs are indeed a focal point for potential Sasquatch activity. The episode concludes with the team reflecting on the importance of persistence and how each investigation brings them closer to uncovering the truth. Skepticism and scientific challenges. Despite the excitement surrounding Bigfoot, many scientists remain skeptical. One of the biggest challenges in proving Bigfoot's existence is the lack of physical evidence. For example, no verified body, bones, or DNA samples have ever been recovered. Skeptics argue that eyewitness reports can be unreliable because people might mistake bears, large shadows, or even people in costumes for a Bigfoot. Another challenge is the scientific community's approach. Mainstream scientists often demand high-quality evidence, such as DNA or clear photographic proof, to accept any claim. Without it, they classify Bigfoot as a myth rather than a real animal. Additionally, Bigfoot researchers face accusations of confirmation bias, where they might only see what they want to believe in the evidence they find. But some cryptozoologists argue that science should remain open-minded. They point out that many species, like gorillas, were once dismissed as legends before they were scientifically proven to exist. Bigfoot enthusiasts believe ongoing research could eventually bridge the gap between folklore and science. Reflecting on the hunt. However, as the investigation draws to a close, the team gathers to reflect on their findings and the journey through Utah's wilderness. They discuss how folklore, often dismissed as mere stories, serves as a vital tool for understanding regional culture, environmental patterns, and mysteries. Dr. Lynne McNeill's insights remind them of the power oral traditions hold in preserving knowledge, sometimes revealing hidden truths that contemporary science might overlook. While the hunt for definitive evidence of Bigfoot remains unresolved, the team is encouraged by the patterns they've observed. The consistent reports of vocalizations, odors, and behavioral signs in Utah align with encounters documented in other parts of the world. This commonality strengthens the case for further exploration and validates their approach to blending history with technology. This episode uniquely emphasizes the intersection of folklore and cryptozoology, proving how cultural narratives can guide scientific inquiry. The team's use of thermal cameras, audio recorders, and baiting techniques, combined with decades of local reports, exemplifies the evolving nature of Bigfoot research. Though the creature remains elusive, the investigation in Utah pushes the boundaries of what is possible, fueling their determination to continue the search. But this episode wasn't the only one with the Bigfoot sightings. Bigfoot tourism and economic impact. Bigfoot isn't just a mysterious creature, it's also a cultural phenomenon that drives tourism and economic growth. Communities near Bigfoot hotspots such as Logan, Utah, have embraced the legend, using it to attract visitors from around the world. Festivals, guided tours, and Bigfoot-themed merchandise generate significant revenue for local businesses. For example, annual Sasquatch festivals in the Pacific Northwest attract thousands of enthusiasts, creating jobs and boosting local economies. Similarly, towns like Willow Creek, California, known as the Bigfoot capital of the world, have turned the creature into a branding opportunity. Restaurants serve Bigfoot-themed dishes, gift shops sell memorabilia, and tour guides take visitors to alleged sighting locations. This phenomenon isn't limited to the United States. Countries with similar cryptid legends, such as Nepal with the Yeti, also experience tourism driven by the mystery. While some may dismiss Bigfoot tourism as frivolous, it provides a meaningful way for rural communities to share their culture, preserve folklore, and support their economies. Bigfoot in popular media. Bigfoot has become one of the most famous cryptids in the world, thanks to its frequent appearances in popular culture. Starting in the mid-20th century, stories of Bigfoot began to gain widespread attention, especially after the famous 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film, which allegedly captured footage of the creature. Since then, Bigfoot has been featured in countless movies, TV shows, and books, making it a household name. This media exposure has created a feedback loop. Popular depictions of Bigfoot influence what people expect to see, which in turn affects how they interpret their own encounters. For example, when people report seeing a tall, hairy figure, they often describe it based on what they've seen in documentaries or films, rather than from first-hand knowledge. Despite skepticism, Bigfoot's presence in media has kept the legend alive. It has also inspired generations of researchers and enthusiasts to investigate the mystery further. From comedic portrayals in movies to serious documentaries like Finding Bigfoot, this cryptid continues to capture the imagination of millions worldwide. The Beast of Gum Hill. In another episode of Finding Bigfoot, the team investigates a local legend in Virginia centered around a mysterious creature known as the Beast of Gumhill. The investigation begins with the analysis of a video captured by locals, reportedly showing the creature moving through a remote, wooded area. The team carefully recreates the circumstances under which the video was filmed. Using the same camera model, lighting conditions, and positioning, they assess the footage's authenticity and gain perspective on the creature's size and movement. The investigation further expands to a night expedition into the surrounding forests. Employing thermal imaging cameras, audio recording devices, and techniques like wood knocking and howling, the team seeks to provoke a response from the creature. These methods are guided by local eyewitness accounts that report sightings of a large bipedal figure and strange vocalizations echoing through the woods. The eerie atmosphere and compelling local reports underscore the region's status as a potential hotspot for Bigfoot activity. Idaho, national media attention. In Pocatello, Idaho, a group of high school students accidentally captured video evidence of an unidentified creature while exploring a wooded area. The footage, which briefly shows a large figure walking away and disappearing into the forest, became a national sensation, sparking interest from cryptozoologists and the media alike. The Finding Bigfoot team travels to the location to validate the evidence. They begin by interviewing the students to understand the context of the sighting and assess their credibility. The team also speaks with other local eyewitnesses, gathering accounts of similar sightings in the region. These testimonies help establish patterns in Bigfoot activity, such as behaviors, habitats, and possible migratory routes. To further investigate, the team performs a recreation of the event, mimicking the conditions of the original footage. They use scientific measurements and camera positioning to estimate the creature's height and stride. Night investigations in the area involve advanced technologies like night vision goggles and heat-sensing cameras, as well as auditory techniques like mimicking Bigfoot's reported howls. The presence of dense forests and natural water sources in Pocatello strengthens the team's hypothesis that the area could sustain a Bigfoot population. And then we've got the mother Bigfoot in Vermont. Vermont, the mother Bigfoot. This episode explores a compelling image captured on a trail camera in Vermont. The photograph appears to show a Sasquatch-like creature carrying a smaller figure, leading to speculation that it depicts a mother Bigfoot with her offspring. The team investigates the site, located in a rural area with a rich history of Bigfoot sightings. The Finding Bigfoot team begins by examining the photo's origin, including the credibility of the person who captured it and the specifics of the camera used. They analyze the image for evidence of hoaxing, paying close attention to lighting, shadows, and proportions. Interviews with local residents reveal a history of strange encounters, including reports of distant whooping sounds, musky odors, and large footprints found near the site. The investigation extends to nearby forests and a local reservoir, both of which provide an ideal habitat for a reclusive creature. The team conducts on-site experiments to replicate behaviors described in the reports. This includes setting up bait stations, performing wood knocks, and using high-tech equipment like motion-activated cameras and audio recorders to detect activity. Despite the lack of direct evidence, the area's recurring sightings and the unique image keep the team optimistic about future discoveries.